have my beautiful TBR. Let's try that again. Feeling lost and feeling lost and feeling lost inside. Welcome back to another episode, or welcome to your first episode of Book Blabs. I'm Nat, and I love to blab all things books. So today I am so excited to say that I am doing my first episode of Read It or I Don't Need It for 2026. Those of you who are new here are those of you who have forgotten. Read It or I Don't Need It is a series that I do. It's kind of like my own version of TBR Takedown, where I am trying to get through my TBR. So this year, since it's 2026, new year, new me, I'm actually way more organized this year. And I went through all of my TBR and I've sorted it. So I now have a jar for my physical TBR. And I also have a jar, they're both huge because I have that many books, for my Kindle TBR. So there's slips of paper in there. And then obviously there were slips of paper in the other. So for this video, I'm going to be choosing from my physical TBR just because that's more of a priority to me right now. It's taking up more space on my shelf. I would rather either read the books on my shelves or unhaul them if I'm not as interested in them, just because my taste has changed or I've changed or they just don't sound as exciting to me anymore. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I have my beautiful TBR. Let's try that again. I have my beautiful TBR jar. Shout out to Sophia. I made this with her. I'm going to carefully take off the glass lid. And this is ASMR. I'm going to carefully take one out. I'm so scared. I don't know which one it could be. Do you want to look before me? Is it upside down? I can't tell which way it goes. Okay, it's Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. This is a classic, so I'm really scared. But what the hell? Let's do it. Oh no. Oh no. I'm a little nervous. Step into my life. Step into my life. Baby, please be mine. Feeling lost and feeling lost and feeling lost inside. Hi, interjection from editing that. I know the lighting is atrocious. Bear with me, okay? Past Nat didn't read you the synopsis of Catch-22, so I figured, let me give you some context. Okay, I'm gonna try not to block my face. It says, 50 years after its original publication, Catch-22 remains a cornerstone of American literature and one of the funniest and most celebrated books of all time. In recent years, it has been named to Best Novels list by Time, Newsweek, the Modern Library, and the London Observer. Set in Italy during World War II, this is the story of the incomparable, malingering bombardier Yossarian, a hero who is furious because thousands of people he has never met are trying to kill him. But his real problem is not the enemy. It is his own army, which keeps increasing the number of missions the men must fly to complete their service. Yet, if Yossarian makes any attempt to excuse himself from the perilous missions he's assigned, he'll be in violation of Catch-22, a hilariously sinister bureaucratic rule. A man is considered insane if he willingly continues to fly dangerous combat missions, but if he makes a formal request to be removed from duty, he is proven sane and therefore ineligible to be relieved. This 50th anniversary edition commemorates Joseph Heller's masterpiece with a new introduction by Christopher Buckley, a wealth of critical essays and reviews by Norman Mailer, Alfred Kazin, Anthony Burgess, and others, rare papers and photos from Joseph Heller's personal archive, and much more. Here at last is the definitive edition of a classic of world literature. There you go. Hello. Hi guys. I just got home from work not too long ago and I ate dinner. I've been kind of listening to Catch 22 on the car today. I haven't been listening to it very long. I'm only 15% of the way through, and all I can say so far is that it's really funny. I'm laughing a lot because like the audiobook, they really put the pacing and like the jokes just hit harder because the delivery is so great. And the voice actor for this, or the narrator, I guess I should say, for this audiobook is fantastic because he does the different voices for the different characters. I'm pretty confused, but the narrator really helps, like, I guess, tell the story. It like makes it make a little bit more sense in my brain, and then I'm just kind of following along when I can, unless I'm driving. But yeah, so far, they told us what Catch 22 is. Catch 22 is that, if you're insane, you can't fly anymore, but the second you ask to not fly, you're considered sane, and therefore, like, you have to keep flying. So, and yeah, it's just funny so far. It's like a satirical, witty kind of funny. It's not like slapstick kind of humor. So it's mostly in like the dialogue of them like bantering back and forth with each other, and it's like kind of like wordplay, and I don't know, it's funny. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a little bit, like I said, confusing because they kind of just throw you in and medias res of like these men who are like bombers and pilots during World War II, and I think it's meant to be disorienting though, because like who truly knows what's going on in war? So I feel like we're kind of just supposed to be thrown in because like these men were kind of just thrown in, and they're like, okay, I guess we're here. So as a reader, I guess I'm just there with them. And yeah, so far I'm having a pretty good time, but I will keep reading and keep you guys updated. Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm supposed to be getting ready for work and I'm listening to my audiobook, and this joke that happened in the book, I just had to share it because it's so funny. So they're like tired of fighting in the war. They want to be like relieved of duty because they've done like, they keep extending how many missions. It started with 25, then it went to 30, 35, and I think they're up to like 50 or 55 right now. And so one of our main characters, Yossarian, he's doing everything he can to like get out of having to serve. So he'll like fake illnesses. And so when he's in the hospital, he's like, oh, it's my liver, my liver. And then he sees someone get wheeled in and he's like, I'm seeing everything twice. And pandemonium just like hits. All the doctors are going crazy trying to figure out, and then everyone in the hospital was quarantined for 14 days because that guy declared that and they didn't know what it was. So Yossarian starts thinking, and he gets let out of the hospital. They're like, you're healthy, whatever. So he waits some time. He comes back. He's like, I see everything twice. I see everything twice. And they're holding up fingers. He's like, how many fingers do you see? He says, 2. How many fingers do you see? 2. How many fingers do you see? 2. And the doctors are like, yep, he sees everything twice. Get him in quarantine. And the other soldier who saw everything twice ends up dying. And he's like, oh, I don't want to die. So he's like, I see everything once. I'm okay. The doctors come back in. How many fingers am I holding up? 1. How many fingers am I holding up? 1. How many fingers am I holding up? 1. Yup, he sees everything once. They're like, he's all better. We fixed him. I know it's so stupid, but it really makes me laugh. Okay, I have to finish getting ready before I'm late for work, but I just had to share that. Okay, I'll update you later.
Step into my life, step into my life. Baby, please be mine.
did like no reading over the weekend. I was too obsessed with playing the game Overcooked 2 by, I was gonna say like an author. Clearly I don't game a lot, but yeah, with like, I played with Jaden, I played with Ashley, I played with Matt. It was so fun. It's probably my obsession game right now. Anyways, I did some audiobook listening on my way into work today, and I'm about 65% through the book. Honestly, like, I'm having an okay time. It is kind of repetitive at this point because the timeline jumps around, so it's like we get like a little portion of one part of a story with a person, and then it'll jump to something else, and then it'll go back and then flesh out more. I am enjoying the wit. It's very witty, it's very funny and sarcastic. It's like a dark sense of humor, and like the conversations are kind of like just hilarious to me. But plot wise, I feel like there's not a whole lot going on. Like, clearly there is still something going on because they're at war, but I just feel like this is a more character driven novel, which is not what I was expecting. And it's taking me a little bit longer to read it just because like it is denser. Yeah, and I'm also kind of hitting a wall with it where I'm getting like just a little bit bored. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading on my lunch, and then I'll let you guys know my thoughts later.
Feel lost in the night. Feel lost in the
Good morning. My pants, I had to steam them, so ignore them hanging in the back. Anyways, I'm getting ready for work. I forgot to update you. It's been like 2 days. It's now Wednesday. So, I think this book is putting me into a slump because like I read a little bit yesterday morning on my way into work, but like other than that, I just have not had the desire to read it. Like, some conversations are witty and funny, but then also like the book is also very dated, meaning like their view on like women is very, should I say, old school, where like before women had the same respect as men in a way, and just the way that they talk about women and get with women. And I know it's like this book is supposed to be from like a man's eye, and it's supposed to be from like a traumatized soldier's eye, so I know they're not all sane, but I don't know, I'm just like, dang, like, is this, I didn't live obviously back in the 40s, so I'm like, is this how women were viewed in the 40s? Like, is this their level of respect they got, or like, is this just like, you know, what is the word, hyperbolized? Like, I don't know. And just like the way they talk about women's bodies, and like, I don't know. It's like a little off-putting. Like, I understand it's a timepiece, and that's why I'm not like super triggered, and I'm not like, oh my God, like, screw this book. Like, I understand that it's dated and it's like signifying a historical, cultural moment. So, I don't know. I'm so close to being done. So I know I said I was gonna DNF this year, but I'm so close, and I don't hate it. Like, if I was really, really hating it, I think I would DNF at this point, because but I am also not having the absolute best time. But I want to see this way. Like, I want to see it through. So yeah, I don't know. It's getting a little bit monotonous right now, and I feel like that's kind of the point, TBH, because it's like, you know, they're going on their missions that keeps getting extended. So it's like it went from 25 and now they're up to like 75 or 80. And like, clearly there's some of them, like especially Osarian, like he's not right in the head. Like, he has clear signs of PTSD, But it's not even post. Like, he's got trauma. He's scared, he's stressed, he has some kind of anxiety disorder because of the war, like, but none of this, like, they don't know what anxiety is yet. They don't know what PTSD is yet, really. I don't think it was, like, officially diagnosed by this time, unless I'm, like, historically inaccurate right now. I don't know. I just want to see it through. I will continue to update you. Okay.
Feeling lost inside. Step into my life.
Good morning. Happy Friday. I know I'm still in my PJs. I'm getting ready for work. I'm so stoked. It's Friday. Jaden is staying over this weekend, so I'm a happy girl. Anyways, I just wanted to have like a quick update. I'll probably talk to you more about it in a minute, but I finished the book last night, or like yesterday on my way home from work. So I have a lot to say. I'm going to get ready and then I'll chat with you. All right?
Step into my life. Baby, please be mine.
All right, let's chat. Hi guys. So yesterday I finished Catch 22, and while I really did enjoy the sense of humor and the sarcasm and the wit that Joseph Heller used, I feel like it kind of put me into a slump. And I will say that just because I know Joseph Heller intentionally kind of wanted to confuse us, because it's like these men just got thrown into war, and you know, war is confusing. The timelines are jumbled. You don't know what's going on. And so the story kind of pulled us back and forth, where we would like jump to like one story and then we jump away and then we jump back, and then, you know, we were kind of just all over the place timeline wise. And I feel like that kind of disorientation, while it was intended, it kind of put me into a slump. Additionally, like as a timepiece, this story was told, I feel like, through the male gaze, which was kind of necessary, because like it's about being a man who may not be totally sane during World War II, who's being like almost forced to fight for his country, because you either continue going on these missions that they keep raising so you'll never get to go home, or they'll kill you anyways. So, or they'll throw you in prison for like court-martial. So it's like you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Anyways, but the way that they just talk about women in this book kind of threw me off guard, I guess. I wasn't expecting it. And I know, like, historically, women weren't always like respected as they are now. So I don't know, it was just kind of like the language, and while it didn't like anger me, it just kind of like made me a little uncomfortable. I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's how they're gonna view women's bodies, or that's how they're gonna talk about women, which I get, historically probably accurate, but just as a woman reading it now, I'm like, cool, great. I really liked the overarching themes that Joseph Heller tried to incorporate in, which is kind of like this power struggle, like between like self-autonomy or the power of like a bureaucracy, because here we have the US military, who is basically taking away these men, like taking away the autonomy from these men, I should say, because every time they think that they can go home, they can't. They keep raising the mission levels. So there's like a lot of good like messages, I think, and like themes woven throughout. Overall, yeah, I liked it, but I didn't like love it. And then it also kind of put me into a slump, and it also kind of just took me off guard how it talked about women. With all that being said, I rated this book 2.5 stars, which I know seems really harsh, but it's like 3 stars for me. I feel like I would recommend it to people. I feel like I would not recommend this book to everyone. If someone has like a very like niche craving, I think I would recommend this book, but I'm not just gonna go tell everyone like, oh, you have to read this book right now. Yeah. Anyways, that brings us to the end of this episode of Read It or I Don't Need It. Let me know, have you read this book? Do you want to read this book? Let me know. And yeah, please be sure to like and subscribe. Go check out my other socials and have a wonderful day. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Feeling lost inside.